Hi, gorgeous Cancer family. I am so excited to talk to you. November is such a powerful month. In many ways, I'm still getting my head wrapped around it because it has so many little adjustments, little and big adjustments. For you, the big news, I have to say, the shining point of illumination for you is the fact that the north node of the moon is going to be moving into Cancer on November 6th. So what does that mean? Let me get my cards shuffling here and then we will talk through all of this. So the north node of the moon, it moves about every year and a half. It's just finishing up in Leo and it will be moving into Cancer in November. And whenever we have a north node of the moon, the north node is kind of pointing us where we need to focus our attention and focus our energy. So we've just come out of this time of the expressive leadership, performative Leo energy, creative energy, and now we're heading into your energy. And everybody's going to be feeling the illumination of the Cancer energy, of really looking into the secret, into the hidden, into the depths of this energy and reassessing. Now, of course, that means the south node of the moon is moving into Capricorn. So we are de-emphasizing this kind of power externalized dynamic of reputation. Whoa, the strength card just was flying. It wanted to fall on the ground. Okay, very interesting. We're de-emphasizing that Capricorn energy, right? Which is really interesting because Pluto and Capricorn has been kind of giving us all this a little bit of obsessive control energy for a long time, and there's been a lot of squaring off with that Pluto and Capricorn energy. We've had a lot of Capricorn lit up over the last little bit, and we have Saturn in Capricorn right now, 9 of Cups, beautiful Cancer. So it'll be really nice, I think, to have this true node, north node in Cancer, to balance that more controlling, directive voice and utilizing much more of this heart-centered, intuitive, secretive, Hierophant, wow, voice instead. Now for you, of course, it's going to affect you on a much more personal level. Like, I can speak to this because being a Leo sun, I've just had the north node lit up in my sign for the last 18 months or so. And it's an interesting time. The thing with it is you will get a lot of clarity about what's serving you and what is not all the time. And a lot more information comes in. You will almost feel as though there's a spotlight a little bit on your energy. You can really leverage that to step into a new identity, a new version of yourself, a new era in your energy. 7 of Swords. And I can relate to this too. My Venus is in Cancer. In some ways, I feel like I really live some of the Cancer life with that because of how I care. I care for others, how I connect with others. It's very much related to that. So it'll be interesting to see what this energy brings us all. Of course, that's not the only thing going on. We still have this Venus retrograde moving through Libra in November. It finishes on November 16th. And then that same day, we get Mercury going retrograde. So when we get Venus going direct, then we have Mercury going retrograde for a few weeks. It starts in Sag and works its way back into Scorpio the second half of the month. We, of course, have a new moon in Scorpio, which is really nice energy for you. That's happening on the 7th. So right around the time the north node of the moon goes into Cancer, that new moon, you may really want to sit down and do some intentions. 7 of Pentacles. Speaking of reassessment, we've got some energy here. You might want to sit down and set some intentions for how you want to use your energy, where you want to wisely entangle your energy with projects and whatnot. Entangle is not quite the right word. Invest your energy with the right projects. Where do you want to take the next year and a half? Where do you want to focus your emphasis or emphasize your energy, right? 9 of Swords. Okay, we have some beautiful externalized energy coming in for you, Cancers, and then we have a deeper story going on internal. I also want to go, and then, we have a full moon at 0 degrees of Gemini, which will be a really interesting moon magic, because when you have a 0 degree full moon like that, we're all going to be feeling the sensitivity of that. It's a real turning point in the energy. We also have Mars going to Pisces, really good for you with this water energy. With a Scorpio season, Mars in Pisces, new moon in Scorpio, you have a lot of water energy flowing with you, which is great because, what is my note? You have to roll with this. You are crashing into new territory. Crashing maybe sounds like an out of control word, but I mean it in the sense that you are really diving into a new energetic era with how you give of yourself. how you show up to your projects, Ace of Cups. You are really entering some new, very rich territory. And this month is going to be where you're starting to test it out. And it's almost an advantage to have a little bit, a retrograde ends and then another one begins, because you can check in and out of these different phases. You know, you don't have to do it all in one swing. But you are crashing into new territory, and it's going to take a moment for all these intentions that I was talking about setting for this new moon and for this North Node shift to take place and for these retrogrades to kind of close out. It's going to take a moment for some of those intentions you set in November to start fully coming to fruition. And that is a good thing. You know, you've got to flow through this a little bit, because it may be a little disorienting at first. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not even saying that bad, disorienting things are going to be happening, but I do feel like the way that this energy is shifting in general for everyone, and then specifically the way it's hitting up on you, I think that there is the potential for a lot of confusion with the roads. Like, it may feel like you're on like 3 parallel paths, and where is one foot here, is one foot there. Am I supposed to be on this path? You almost might be feeling like you can peer into multiple versions of your life moving forward, and that can be really disorienting. And so that's why I think I'm saying, you know, it's about flowing a little bit, about breathing. Nothing's going to be set in stone right out of the gate. 2 of Wands came out. Okay, I'm going to leave it there with those 8 cards to start. I might pull a final one at the end here, but let's talk through this, because so you have all this water energy working with you. You have the North Node now coming into your sign, really putting a lot more focus on your energy, and also making you kind of the star of your own show in many ways, which sounds fun, but then ends up being a little bit of homework. And as we move from Scorpio season on the 22nd and we move into Sagittarius season, we're also doing a little bit of homework when it comes to how you're taking care of yourself and your day-to-day routines and your habits, and how you are engaging with your physical body, and where you're wanting to reassess where you want to care for that, especially with Mercury retrograde there. You might be noticing you're checking in with some of that. And the thing that I'm getting here, Cancer, when I'm looking at these cards that came out today, is you have a dual-fronted thing going on. And I find this happens a lot when things start to go well or things start to cohere. There are two storylines going on. There are 2 levels happening. On the one level, we have stuff on either end here. We've got Strength, 9 of Cups, Hierophant. On the other end of the reading, we have the Ace of Cups and the 2 of Wands. And then in the middle, we have all this self-doubt. All these little triggers popping up, all these little wounds popping up, all this little bit of paranoia, a little bit of wariness, a little bit of weariness coming into the picture for the Cancer fam. And I think that makes a lot of sense. You know what that tells me? That opportunities that you really want, that you really care about, that you're really excited about are showing up. You know, those job offers, those relationships, those opportunities for creative work, for expanding your business, for expanding your vulnerability, whatever has been like pinging at you, especially as we've been working into this Venus retrograde, which is really asking us, what do we really love and value? Suddenly you're starting to get these open doors, these little openings. And I find that when we start to really get invitations to these things that really matter to us, these aren't just light, breezy, fun things. These are the things that we sometimes even build resistance to because we care so much about them, that our little demons want to come in and keep us from doing them. They almost come in and say, oh, you're not allowed to have this. So let's talk through that, because like I said, it suggests to me that these aren't just like nice little things. There's some big payoff coming in for you with this North Node energy, and with the shifts in the world, with Jupiter going into Sagittarius as well on the 8th, which is once again your 6th house, how you care for your body, care for your vessel, and how you engage with your day-to-day routines, and how you serve others, and all of these beautiful things. You're getting a new hit of energy. And you're getting it in a very stable way, because these three cards right here that came out at the beginning of your reading, my Cancers, is really powerful. You know, Strength is associated with Leo, and the Hierophant is associated with Taurus, and these are two fixed sign energies. So fixed sign is all about sustaining energy over a long period of time, right? And they're all about commitment, focus, drive, and stability. Stability is a huge word in this conversation today. And they're sitting here with the Nine of Cups. This emotionally fulfilled, also very stable energy. I mean, the thing with this guy is he's so well off, he can just kind of sit there. He's not scrambling around trying to get answers. He's got everything he needs. He's accounted for. He's good. He's going to sit tight for a little while. So you have these energies, and what's interesting about these are all doing something. They're all working at like a very deep, quiet, rumbling level, but they get a lot done over a period of time. So one thing I'm getting with this energy, it's very abundant. It's very much about commitment. It's very much about emotional commitment. It's very much about the long-term plan when it comes to what you're committing to, who you're committing to, the projects you're committing to. Absolutely. So these are things that will be a part of your life for a long time, not just the next few months, but probably over a long period of time. And a lot of the clues and information you're going to be getting this month via the breadcrumb trail of the universe and of energy and of signs will be leading you to what is going to be in your life for a long time. So kind of pay attention. You know, it's a good time to just look around and take in any information that's coming your way. The other side of this is that whatever you're working on, wherever you're heading with your relationships, with your creative work, with the work you do in the world, the things you are building are going to take a little bit of time. The thing with Strength and Hierophant energy is that they work very consistently over time. They don't put all of their ammunition up front and then peter out, and then they're tired, and then you don't finish the project. They know to hold back just a little bit and piece things together very carefully and thoroughly, and let the unfolding happen at a nice steady pace so that you get long-range growth. Now that is really important. There's something about long-range growth here. And if I know one thing about Cancer energy, you guys are really go-getters. You are so good at just pushing forward and making things happen and problem solving and creating, and you have this drive and this ambition that is amazing, and you are just willing to just push yourself to go there. But what's interesting is this is telling me this month especially, you may be noticing that while you want to just problem solve and you want to just jump to the next point of knowledge, and you just want to have it all laid out and you want to have it figured out so that you can just move, you may be finding that instead you keep getting pulled back to reassessing and just making a really smart plan, being very subtle under the surface. Now, like I said, I feel like that's an opportunity, those set of discussions, open doors, connections that are really beautiful, really abundant. I mean, those are fantastic energies for commitment, commitment on any level, like positive commitment, right? Committing to a relationship, committing to a job, committing to a new era in your life. I mean, that can look like so many things. It's a lot of happy, emotionally supportive commitment. But you guys also have another secret side, which is that you, being water, have really great defenses. One of the defenses that is showing up here with these three cards is the defense to just analyze yourself out of something. I think you know what I mean when I say that. Analyze yourself out of the equation. You know, whenever I see the Seven of Swords, this makes me think of imposter syndrome. When you think you're getting away with something you shouldn't be allowed to get away with, right? There's an energy here of that for the Cancers. That sense of like, ooh, I'm getting this new opportunity, this new door, things are going well. I'm going to be caught and somebody's going to tell me that I'm not allowed to do this anymore, right? That's one side of it. Another side of it is, what do you really want to be doing? Now, this is actually a legitimate question. You may be finding that with the way the energies are moving through this month, that you do take a moment to look at where you're putting energy, whether it be in relationships or projects or work. Just assessing, just parsing through, where are you putting your energy? Is it working for you? Where is it not working for you? Where can you kind of put some things on the back burner a little bit? And make sure that you're checking in with it. Now, that is actually an important process. Now, the trick here is with these two sevens, right, is to parse through between what you're just saying you're not allowed to do and you're just getting away with, and what you really do want to release. There's a big difference between those two, and you'll know what it is. Now, this Nine of Swords is always a funny one, because this one often shows up when we want to scare ourselves. We think there's no way this is going to be okay. We overanalyze. We overanalyze ourselves into this kind of nightmare scenarios. Because sometimes when things are good, sometimes when things are opening up, sometimes when things start to make sense, we scare ourselves. And it's a really tempting time to scare yourself, because it's one of our protection mechanisms. But here's the thing. You have all that energy there working at you, making you second guess some things, freak out. But on the other side of all of that, Ace of Cups, Two of Wands. There's some new landscape here. Yes, relationship could be one of them. But I think it's so much bigger than that for you guys. I think that's one way it can show up. That's one aspect. That's one potential lens through which you may experience this energy is via relationship, positive relationships in your life. This is about how you're moving through the world, though, and this is where the North Node conversation is really important. I'm getting shivers right now talking about this. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is a time for Moonchild energy to move through the world with a certainty of your self-value that is so strong. The seas are calm. So you may be checking in back with these old ways, these old fears, these old demons, these old hauntings. But where you're really going, where the energy is really taking you, is here into these new horizons. Now, I really do think for you all, this month is going to be a month that setting intentions very clearly and crisply. Take your time, do multiple drafts. You know, get it pared down though to the bare bones of what you're really asking for in this life. Right? Two of Wands to me is always the manifestation card. It's the step one of manifestation, which is you are standing there at this doorway. You are inviting. This is the welcome mat energy. This is intention setting energy. And what it tells me is that it's a receptive mode for you. It is a positive mode for you in which to ask, intend, clarify. What would you manifest with your magic wand if you had a magic wand that could deliver you everything you wanted within 10 business days, and it was all there, and you opened your front door and it was sitting there? What would you really be asking for? Be careful with that one, right? And that's where it's, have fun with it. I guess be careful is not really the intention I want to set there with that. What I want to say is, have fun with editing through that. Let yourself go hog wild at first, and then notice where you really mean what you're asking for. And pare it down to those things, because with the energy working with you the way that it is, you have every potential of having those opportunities come in. And not only that, but having this kind of day-to-day routine work ethic, healthy habit ethic, service ethic, for the next little bit with Jupiter and Sagittarius the way that it is, that will actually have you accomplishing a lot of goals within the next year. With the North Node in your sign, Jupiter and Sagittarius, Uranus and Taurus, and even Saturn in Capricorn in your opposite sign, you have a lot of placements right now that are saying you can get a ton of creative and meaningful projects and works done in this lifetime, in this next year. And that's an amazing thing. And I think like you all are ready for that. And you're excited by that commitment to self. And that's what I mean when I say that this Ace of Cups and Two of Wands is about the way you're moving through the world. It's a commitment to your growth. It's a commitment to yourself. It's a commitment to how you serve humanity in this world. And that's a really important message that's coming through with this conversation. You know, we need your energy right now. We need it a lot. And we are it's the good thing that North Node is moving into this cardinal energy, into this water energy, into your energy, because we need it right now. We need leadership of that quality. Like, these are leadership cards. And we need that quality of energy right now. So it's a good thing. You will be feeling it. And, you know, take a breath. You have a little bit of time in this energy. So take a breath. Don't put all the pressure on yourself this month. Try and play and dabble as much as possible, because it is a whole bunch of reset energy. I'm going to leave it there. You can find all of my info in the description box. I still have those Venus retrograde videos up, so I would grab that while they are still around. I'll leave the link for that below. Of course, keep an eye out for all my moon magics. If you subscribe and hit the bell, you will be able to know when the moon magics come out. I try and put them out close to the time that they happen, so you'll see what I mean. I'll also leave my website, my email. I have a limited number of sessions. It's normally a few months in advance, so plan ahead if you'd like to work with me. I'd love to meet you guys. And of course, I'm wearing PinkLune. She's got a lot of ready-made stuff that she's been working on. So you can check her out. I'll leave all of the info down there. Keep an eye out. There's a lot that I'm working on. And follow me on Instagram at @SARAHTAROT. I would love to see you there. I have so much fun with you guys on Instagram. I feel like that's where we play and dabble. I hope you have a beautiful November, my loves. I'm really excited. Being a Venus in Cancer, I'm really curious to see what this North Node energy brings us all. And I really do think we need it. The Venus in Leo, or the North Node in Leo, was a really interesting time. And it brought up a lot that had to do with ego and identity. And I think now we are in a new era. I love you guys so much. I will see you in December for more fun and curiosity, and sending you all the best.